special yakitori for sale. Come and try some.
Hi, Catherine. We heard that you have a new commission for us.
That's correct. There's a requester who has submitted a designated commission for the two of you.
A designated commission? Sounds like it must be pretty important. What kind of task is it exactly?
There's no need to worry. This commission is not dangerous by any means. Perhaps you have heard that Inazuma will soon be holding a major festival, the magnificent Irodori Festival.
Yay! A festival! Oh, come to think of it, we haven't attended a festival in Inazuma for a while.
The Yashiro Commission and Lady Yae are responsible for all the festival preparations. The one who has requested your help is none other than Lady Yae herself.
You know Miko. She always has some unusual ideas in her head. You can bet a festival planned by her is gonna be one to remember. We'd better go to Grand Narukami Shrine and see what she needs us to do.
Lady Yae is currently at Yae Publishing House in Hanamizaka, so there is no need to go all the way to the shrine. In fact, she has instructed me to have you directly meet with her there.
Oh, well that's convenient enough. Let's go then.
Aratani and Kuroda, how are things coming along?
All the books and commission prints for Yae Publishing House were bound and sent out yesterday afternoon, Lady Yae.
Very good. And Murata?
We have already received word from Apekusu and Sailing Breeze that the materials are all in place for Shogun Almighty Reborn as Raiden with Unlimited Power and Pretty Please Kitsune Guji.
Well done. And what about you, Onodera? Ahem. Onodera?
Oh, yes, Lady Yae. Everything is ready for the new issue release party.
You are the one who organized the plans for this release party. In other words, you are the team's fearless leader now. So please, show some confidence. Besides, there's no need to be nervous. This project is destined for success. I feel quite optimistic about it. I shall specially grant you leave for the next couple of days, Onodera. Please take the opportunity to have a good rest. After all, you will be very busy on the day of the release party.
Yes, Lady Yae. Thank you very much.
All right then. Is everyone clear about their assignments? Good. We are running out of time, so let's get moving. Chop chop! Hello, little ones. I take it you have received my commission,
Some organizer you are! It's nearly time for the festival and you're still over here ramping things up for your light novel business! Shouldn't you be getting back to the Grand Narukami Shrine? You weren't thinking of dumping all the festival preparations on us, were you? If so, then you can forget it! Paimon won't accept such a commission!
My, such harsh words. It hurts to hear that kind of talk from you two. But as you can clearly see, I'm here working like a dog for the festival. Yet you say I'm not doing my job. Let me ask you, little ones, whoever said that the festival must involve the Grand Narukami Shrine?
Huh? But isn't that a given? This is Inazuma after all.
Yes, that is true. But now that the Sokoku decree has been lifted, Inazuma is no longer the same nation that once resisted change tooth and nail. Therefore, rather than sticking to the same old traditional festival, the Yashiro Commission and I have decided to shake things up a little. This time, we'll be holding an international cultural festival Distinctly Inazuman, but with a unique twist. I suppose I should start by telling you the origins of the Irodori Festival. Legend has it that there were 5 poets in ancient Inazuma who were supremely gifted in singing and writing poetry. They are known as the 5 Kasen. Every year, one of the 5 would present a collection of the group's poems to the shogun for review, which would then spark culture discussions regarding those works. Thanks to them, Inazuma's culture blossomed and gained great influence at that time. As time passed, people began creating various tales based on the 5 Kasen. The Irodori Festival was also developed as a result to show appreciation for their works, which so greatly enriched our lives.
Sounds like a festival that's really rooted in culture.
Indeed. To describe it in the words of the ancients, it'd be refined elegance. Unfortunately, with the flow of time, people have gradually forgotten about the 5 Kasen and the festival. Which is precisely why I've decided to revive the Irodori Festival by holding a cultural convention featuring light novels.
But, wait a minute! Light novels?
Please stop looking at me with those baffled expressions. In ancient times, poetry was all the rage, but nowadays, the entertainment format of choice is light novels. The important thing is not the format, but the creative work itself. It is impossible to come up with anything fresh if you're stuck using some rigid format of the past. Speaking of which, don't you think that the concept of focusing on the now perfectly suits the current Inazuma? And besides, it's a great opportunity to reintroduce Inazuma to Ultivat through light novels. As they say, it's 2 birds with 1 stone.
Whoa, that was close. Paimon was nearly carried away by Miko's persuasive tongue. Come on, Miko! You can't fool us. We know you by now. This is all definitely stemming from your own personal interest.
I can't deny that my hobbies had no part to play in this. However, regardless of whether it's light novels or a festival, catching people's attention with a fresh concept is the essence here. Well, what do you say? Aren't you two even a little curious about what interesting things you might see at the festival?
Maybe a little. Oh, all right. Paimon's super curious now.
Come, let's pay a visit to the venue in Rito together. I promise that it will give you a whole new perspective on the festival. There we'll meet a special someone who will tell you more about your tasks. During the Irodori Festival, the area around the Outlander Affairs Agency will become the main exhibition space for light novels. Once things are in full swing, not only will there be lots of official and fan-created work on display, there'll also be exclusive giveaways, prizes, and new release parties. This small plaza in front of the International Trade Association will be called the 5 Kasen Plaza during the festival, and nearby shops will be selling special light novel merchandise. You certainly won't want to miss out.
Wow. How should Paimon put this? It's definitely not your typical festival, but it sure looks like it'll be quite the party. Huh. Miko, what are these blank boards in the center of the plaza?
Yes, those are...
Ah, Lady I did mention that there would be some reliable helpers coming to assist with the festivities. It appears she meant you two. At last we meet again, Traveler and Paimon. Tell me, how are you faring recently?
Oh, it's Ayato! Wow, so even a busy guy like yourself is here to attend the Irodori Festival.
Preparing festivals falls under the Yashiro Commission's scope of responsibilities. Seeing as Lady Yae has poured her heart and soul into the preparations, I'm obliged to be equally dedicated.
Come now, Ayato. We're not strangers here. There's no need to sound so formal. We were just about to discuss the boards over here. They're related to our little helper's tasks, so I'll let you give them a detailed rundown.
Certainly. I assume you two already know that the Irodori Festival originated from the 5 Kasen. These 5 boards are here for painting their portraits. This Irodori Festival is not only the first major festival to be held in Inazuma since the lifting of the Sakoku Decree, it is also an event deeply rooted in culture and the arts. Therefore, the Yashiro Commission has personally invited several cultural celebrities from other nations. For example, the artist we have invited to paint these portraits hails from the distant land of Mondstadt. The Yashiro Commission will arrange accommodations and food in Inazuma for each of the distinguished guests. However, we fear that staying in a foreign land may feel a little uncomfortable. Which is precisely why it would be ideal to have someone familiar with both Inazuma and other nations of Teyvat to serve as a guide for our guests. I knew you would catch on. It is our hope that you would be able to guide the guests from the harbor to their residence at the International Trade Association, while providing any necessary assistance along the way. This arrival schedule includes the details of the ships on which the guests will be arriving. All you simply have to do is go to the docks at the indicated times.
It's settled then. My, look at the time. I have to meet with my editors, so I must be going now. During the festival, most of the Yae Publishing House's editors will be staying near the Outlander Affairs Agency. If you run into any problems, you may find them there.
This festival requires the full cooperation of the Tri-Commission, and there are still many minor details which require my attention, so I must excuse myself for now. I'll leave the guests in your hands.
All the details we need about the ships are on the timetable that Ayato gave us. Let's take a closer look and be sure to pick up the passengers according to the times written on it.
If you want to taste Mondstadt's great wines, then look no further than Sailing Breeze.
According to the arrival schedule, there will be a ship arriving from Mondstadt today. The artist for the 5 Kasen portraits should be on board. Hello! You must be here to take part in the Irodori Festival. We're the festival guides, and we'll show you around.
Yes, that's right. We are bards from Mondstadt. Word has it that Inazuma has undergone many changes of late. We hope to find fresh inspiration here.
These guests are all bards, aren't they? Well, where's Tongaf Bard then? Huh. Strange. He's pretty famous in Mondstadt. Do you think he didn't receive an invitation? Huh? Why's that? Oh, Paimon sees what you're getting at. Even though Venti no longer rules over Mondstadt, he's still an Archon. If he came rushing to Inazuma at the first mention of a festival, not only would it seem a little childish, it would also sort of be shameless of him too.
Mr. Honorary Knight, Paimon!
It's Klee! Were you also invited to the Irodori Festival?
No, Albedo's the one who received the invitation. But because everyone in the Knights of Favonius has been really busy these days, Albedo arranged for someone here to issue me a dependent pass.
Greetings, Traveler and Paimon. After hearing that Inazuma was making preparations for the Irodori Festival, I predicted that I might run into you here.
Ha! Paimon knew it! Albedo's the one they've invited to paint the 5 Kasen!
It seems that you already know why I'm here. Just so you're aware, I'll be using my pen name in Inazuma, Calx. Oh, by the way, do you know where the International Trade Association is? I'll be meeting with the editorial director of the Yae Publishing House there.
Yeah, the International Trade Association is where you'll be staying in Inazuma. We'll be heading there too.
Great. Let's get going then.
Wow, it's so beautiful here! So many things I've never seen before.
Slow down, Klee. Please be careful not to bump into others. Telling Klee so many stories about Inazuma during the trip was probably not the best idea. As a result, she could hardly sleep all the way here. It appears she's even more excited now that we've arrived. Strange. It seems that the editorial director, Mr. Hiroyama, isn't here yet. I'm certain he said that he'd be sure to arrive before me. This might be a problem. Well, Mr. Hiroyama was supposed to meet with me and give me some reference materials about the 5 Kasen today. That way, I could better visualize the content for my paintings.
You mean you had no idea what you'd be painting before you arrived in Inazuma?
I only know of the 5 Kasen by name. Because of the sheer age of the tale, very little has been passed down to this day. So Mr. Hiroyama decided to help me collect some more information. I'm the type of painter who can complete a painting quickly as long as I'm inspired. So I agreed on only receiving the details today.
So when do the paintings have to be done by?
According to the festival plans, the portraits will be revealed one at a time throughout the various stages of the Irodori Festival. The first one, depicting Suikou, will need to be done before the festival's official opening ceremony, which is the day after tomorrow.
The day after tomorrow? Then you're already running out of time!
There's no need to panic. When I was working on light novel illustrations, because the manuscripts are shipped by boat, things were always tight and finished at the last minute. Just last month, to ensure the latest book of A Legend of Sword would be finished for the Irodori Festival, I had to complete the final chapter's illustrations the same day I received the manuscript. I heard that my illustrations were sent to print as soon as they arrived in Inazuma. I still don't know how well they turned out.
Paimon isn't sure if she should feel sympathetic for your working conditions or compliment you on your artistic genius.
Of course, I would still prefer to receive any possible reference materials in advance, so that I can be better prepared.
Oh, right! The editors of the Yae Publishing House will all be around the Outlander Affairs Agency these next few days. Who knows? Maybe Mr. Hiroyama's over there too. We'll take you over there to see if we can find him, Albedo.
All right, it's worth a try. Klee, you haven't slept for a while now. Please stay at our residence in the International Trade Association and get some rest. We will be back soon.
Okie dokie. Don't Don't worry, Albedo. I'll be on my best behavior.
Yeah. Fingers crossed he comes traveling.
This can't be happening. The moment we need to contact Onodera is when he's on special leave. Kuroda and I will go back to Inazuma City for an emergency printing run. The demand for this book is so high, though. Even with the emergency prints, it still might not be enough.
Despite everything, we're still lucky that we found out today. If this had happened a few days later, then we'd really be in boiling water. Hey, do you think that suspicious guy they found in the warehouse has anything to do with this?
Well, the editorial director is on his way over there to investigate the situation as we speak.
Sorry to interrupt, but what's going on here?
Oh, hey, Traveler. Don't worry. It's nothing, just an internal issue. That's all. How can I help you?
I'm looking for the editorial director, Mr. Hirayama. Does anyone know where he is now?
Mr. Hirayama is currently at the warehouse down by the harbor.
Oh, hold on a second, Murata. Excuse me, but you must be Calx, the one who was invited to paint the 5 kasen for the festival?
Yes, that's me.
My name is Kuroda. You must be inquiring about information regarding the 5 kasen. I do apologize, but please make yourself comfortable at the International Trade Association, and I will let Mr. Hirayama know to send you the materials right away.
Oh, no need. You guys look super busy, so we can go find him ourselves.
About...
Excuse me, but is there something wrong with the latest volume of A Legend of Sword?
Huh? How did you know?
Since you were all aware that Mr. Hirayama needed to send me some supporting materials, that means the editorial director didn't forget about it. Instead, something urgent must have cropped up. To add to that, despite being aware that I am Calx, you were still unwilling to let me go to Mr. Hirayama directly. After considering these factors, the only reason you would try to stall me is if something happened to A Legend of Sword, which I did the illustrations for.
Well, I'm very sorry. The situation is just as you said, Calx. I suppose it doesn't hurt to tell you now. Earlier today, someone spotted a suspicious outlander sneaking around inside the Irodori Festival warehouse down by the docks. So they promptly alerted the Tenryou Commission. The Tenryou Commission was concerned about potential cargo theft, so they contacted everyone who was renting space in the warehouse. It was then that we realized that the latest copies of A Legend of Sword had suddenly gone missing.
What? The books are missing?
Shh, not so loud. Not only is this book an eagerly anticipated release in the last phase of the Irodori Festival, but the author, Jinyu, will be personally attending the release party as well.
Because of the dire situation, Mr. Hirayama immediately hurried to the warehouse to determine whether the theft was related to that suspicious outlander.
I see. It would be a great misfortune if A Legend of Sword would not be released on schedule. And quite a disappointment for Jinyu as well. If Mr. Hirayama has gone to the warehouse at the docks, then I'll go down to see if I can be of any help.
So the author of A Legend of Sword is Jinyu. Sounds familiar. Hey, isn't that Xingqiu's pen name?
Oh, do you know him?
Xingqiu would definitely be upset if he discovers his books are missing. Let's accompany Albedo to the warehouse, too. Huh? It's you! Why are you here?
I'm here on behalf of the Tenryou Commission, of course. Is that surprising?
No, Sarah, Paimon wasn't talking about you! So, tone-deaf bard. The suspicious outlander in the warehouse wouldn't happen to be you, would it?
Considering the evidence, it appears that the suspicious outlander is indeed me.
As I have told you, you are a suspect. Before your allegations of theft and illegal entry as a stowaway are cleared, you are to remain silent. Don't make me say it again. Traveler, Paimon, do you know this self-proclaimed bard from Mondstadt?
Listen, Sarah. Knowing him, it's safe to say that he wasn't behind the theft. But what's this about being a stowaway?
Although he claims to be a special guest for the Irodori festival, he's failed to present his invitation letter. Therefore, we can only suspect that he might have entered the country illegally. And just a moment ago, we caught him in a dandelion wine crate near the Sailing Breeze. If it would help shed any light on the situation, then please, be my guest.
Oh, Venti! You didn't really come here illegally, did you?
Ouch, your words wound me. We've been apart for so long, and the moment we meet again, all I'm greeted with is grilling questions and suspicious glares. You arrived in Inazuma via similar means, or so I heard. You of all people should be more understanding, don't you think?
Similar means?
I merely jest. Fear not, for the person who sent me the invitation is none other than Kamisato Ayato of Yashiro Commission. It's unlikely that someone acquainted with the likes of him would ever be here illegally, right?
But why weren't you on the same ship as the other bards?
Well, once I received the invitation letter, I couldn't help but want to come to Inazuma a little early. It was then that I happened upon a cargo ship bound for Inazuma transporting dandelion wine. So, naturally, I decided to set sail with them. Once aboard, I found the captain to be a kindred spirit, and I was treated to an abundance of fine liquor along the way. I must have fallen asleep in the cargo crate while carefully comparing the tastes of dandelion wine and Inazuman sake. And when I woke up, I found myself in this warehouse with a Tenryo Commission General glaring at me from atop the grate.
Coming from Venti, this story is quite believable. But it still feels a bit...
Excuse me, I'm the owner of the stolen goods from the IA publishing house, and there are some questions I would like to ask you. Based on what you just said, it seems you've been in the warehouse for some time now. If that's the case, did you happen to hear anything unusual?
Actually, I did hear some faint footsteps around me a couple of times, but I didn't consider the sound anything out of the ordinary.
But if you clearly heard something, why didn't you feel it was unusual?
Oh, I seem to understand now.
Huh? What did you notice, Albedo?
When it comes to burglars, they are generally associated with prying or rummaging through things. What Venti means is that he did not hear anything unusual like that. As for the sound of footsteps, because this is a warehouse where many goods are coming in and out each day, it is quite normal for people to be walking around.
I see. But if that's the case, then we're back to square one regarding the stolen books.
No, not quite. From the facts that have been presented to us, we can draw at least 3 conclusions now. First, whoever took the novels is not a spur-of-the-moment burglar. They had their sights on the books from the very beginning. Second, the culprit was very familiar with the warehouse, and might even have a key. And third... I knew you'd catch on, Traveler. One person couldn't possibly transport so many heavy books in such a short window of time. It must have been a team effort. It goes without saying that Venti clearly does not match up with our culprits.
Yes, I agree with your reasoning. Mr. Hirayama, the Tenryo Commission will continue by investigating the warehouse staff. If you come across any further clues, please notify us immediately.
Yes, understood. I'll leave it to you then.
I suppose I'm free as a bird then.
Not so fast. Even though we've cleared the theft allegations, we still haven't ascertained whether your arrival in Inazuma was legal or not.
Aw, 'tis a shame. I thought surely after my honest account you might let me off the hook.
Sara's quite the meticulous one. So, where's your invitation letter, Venti?
Yes, the invitation letter. I'm truly sorry. I can't seem to remember where I may have put it.
How could you lose something so important?
Don't be mistaken. I was well aware of how important it was. But I didn't bring any luggage with me, and the letter was too big to fit in my pocket. So I kept it in my hand the whole trip. Strange. Though I had a little too much to drink, I know that I kept it in a secure place. I even recall being most pleased at coming up with a good idea at the time.
If you were holding the invitation in your hand the whole time, then why did you put it down?
Well, to properly compare the taste of Mondstadt wine and Inazuman sake, I had to hold a glass in each hand. I couldn't both hold the invitation and a glass at the same time. But surely I wouldn't put it in just any random place. It could easily be misplaced.
In which case, I believe there's only one place it could be. Have you figured it out, Traveler?
Huh? You're way ahead of Paimon. Do you two already know where the invitation letter is? Huh? Are you sure? His cape doesn't even have any pockets to put stuff. But hey, a cape with pockets isn't a bad idea. You should try and get it tailored sometime, Venti.
Well, people do often claim that capes and the like serve no real purpose other than aesthetics. I suppose a cape with pockets would really turn the tables on that crowd.
Huh? That doesn't sound right. The invitation is pretty big, isn't it? And if it's in his shoe, he would feel it when he's walking.
Drinking too much may occasionally render the tongue a little numb, but it's true. It certainly wouldn't affect the feet. Ah, yes! I remember now. I knew you'd help me find it.
This is indeed an invitation letter issued by the Yashiro Commission. Now that we've confirmed this guest's identity, I have no further questions. However, starting tonight, I would advise you to stay at the International Trade Association. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be leaving now.
There goes Sara. All right, let's go talk to Mr. Hirayama about Albedo's reference materials.
Mr. Hirayama, I'm Calx. We had originally arranged to meet today.
Ah, yes, so you are Calx. I'm very sorry that you've arrived in Inazuma only to find such a mess. These are the materials regarding the 5 Kassen. All the information that we could find is compiled here.
Let's see here. Yes, it's just as I had suspected. Monikers such as Suikou and Aoi no Okina aren't the real names of the 5 Kassen. Though there were once many stories regarding each of the 5 Kassen, the validity of their contents can no longer be verified in present times. Alas, what a shame. But, at the very least, we know that most of the stories were written according to a similar style, so there is still something we may glean from this.
So, is the info useful for your paintings, Albedo?
To some extent, yes. However, I must admit that it is still lacking and fails to fulfill the most crucial element. Inspiration.
I am sorry that this information is not as exhaustive as you had hoped. However, it is not possible to gather anything more at the moment. Though, Lady Yai did say that there are many variations of the story about the 5 Kassen, and everyone has a different story in their heart. So all you need to do is follow through with what's in your own heart, and create something that you yourself find interesting.
That does sound like something Miko would say.
Thank you, Mr. Hirayama. No need to worry. I'll find inspiration for the portraits.
Great. I'll leave it to you then, Calx. Oh, and there's one more thing I need to ask of everyone. Tomorrow morning, Mr. Genyu, the author of A Legend of Sword, will be arriving in Inazuma by boat. If you see him, please do not mention the stolen novels for the time being. Whether the stolen books are eventually recovered or not, the IA Publishing House will do its best to ensure that the novel's release is a success. You have my gratitude. I'll be going then.
Well, seems there's nothing more we can do here. Let's go. Huh? Betty? What are you doing over there? You don't want us to leave you behind, do you?
Traveler, albedo, would you mind coming over here for a moment? There's something peculiar that I think you should see.
What is it, Venti? A piece of paper?
Indeed. When I awakened to find myself in the warehouse this morning, I discovered this paper in the cargo crate where I was sleeping. I didn't think much of it then. I thought it was merely a scrap piece of paper that had fallen into the cargo. After a quick glance, I stuffed it into a place nearby. But on second thought, I think it's worth having you take a look at what's written on it.
Let me see. Suikou chapter. Wait a minute. Isn't Suikou the name of one of the 5 Kasen?
The story told in this poem roughly boils down to Suikou getting tipsy and letting some poems that were meant for the shogun get stolen. Ah, this story sounds familiar to my ear. Where have I heard it?
Seriously? It's literally the same story you just experienced yesterday!
Oh, indeed it is. Interesting, isn't it?
Yes, I concur. The person who left this paper could quite possibly be the criminal, or even a witness to the theft. But why leave the paper here in such a fashion? And if the one who left it here was a witness, why didn't they attempt to stop the burglary?
All right, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Meeting together in Inazuma like this is a most rare occasion. Since we've been busy from the start of the day, let us find an inn with good drink to keep our thirst at bay.
Hey! You just sobered up and you're already thinking about more drinks? And let's not forget that Albedo still has a portrait to complete. We don't have time to be slacking off.
No, it's fine. Let's all go for a drink together. It'll be my treat.
Wait a minute. What about your portrait?
As I mentioned before, I'm the kind of artist who can work quickly once I'm inspired. And now, it seems I've found my source of inspiration. If I use a model as reference for the piece, we must pay him back with the appropriate recompense.
In that case, we'll need to order more dishes. One year, the poet Suikou made his way to Tenshukaku and presented the Kasen's work for the shogun's perusal. But a page from the works of Aoi no Okina had been torn out, and Suikou was questioned regarding the matter. Suikou pleaded guilty. He admitted to drinking at the tavern the night before, and vaguely recalled a mysterious figure approaching while he was intoxicated.
Wow, you really came through, Albedo. You were able to complete the first portrait before the opening ceremony.
Yes, it really is a sight to behold. Not only does it harken to the traditional style of Inazuma, but it also makes use of modern aesthetics. My figure is particularly striking. Even though I'm sound asleep in the portrait, I still appear as glorious as always.
Hey, don't get too full of yourself, tone-deaf bard. You were just a model. The person in the artwork isn't actually you. Well, Albedo, who will be your next portrait?
The next one will be Aoi no Okina of the 5 Kasen.
Albedo, Might I suggest waiting a little before starting on the next one? Who knows? You might soon discover another story.
Another story?
I believe he's referring to the possibility of finding another paper with tales of the 5 Kasen. According to the reference materials I was given, we've only found the first of a total of 4 chapters.
Do you think the mysterious person who left the first paper will strike again?
It certainly is a possibility. Also, there are some points regarding the stories of the 5 Kasen that have left me rather curious. For example, the reference materials make mention of 5 legendary figures, yet all the popular stories only consist of 4 parts. It appears that throughout all the stories, there is never a chapter dedicated to Kuronushi.
Yes, I'm also curious about these stories myself. But who knows? They may merely be akin to the old saying in Mondstadt. Seeds of stories brought by the wind and cultivated by time. So for now, we need but just wait patiently.
A nice blessing, now 10% off.
Sometimes the law is compatible with human nature, but sometimes the two conflict. Balancing the two is a discipline in its own right.
Inuzuma's cooking. I'm not used to it at all. Inuzuma's cooking. I'm not used to it at all.
What a coincidence. I was wondering where I might be able to find you, and here you are. Well, can't I come and see you when nothing is up? Alright, as much as I'd like to sit and chat with you, this time I'm here mainly for Klee. Before bringing Klee here, I told her many stories about Inazuma. It got her very excited to experience the local culture here. However, I've got other things to do in Inazuma this time, besides painting the portraits of the 5 Kasen. Over the next couple of days, I won't have the time to show her around. Inazuma is not like Mondstadt. I can't just let Klee wander off by herself when I'm busy with other things. So I had to have her stay at the International Trade Association while I finish my work. She hasn't complained, but I can tell she's not enjoying being stuck there on her own. Fortunately, I now have you and Paimon. So,
Yay! Mr. Honorary Knight's here! What you talking about, Mr. Honorary Knight? Are we gonna go play? Yeah! But Albedo is really busy. I can't go too far away or he'll be worried about me.
Aw, Klee, you're such a thoughtful kid. Ah, Paimon's very thoughtful, thank you very much. Paimon always thinks of you whenever she's eating a delicious slime. Anyway, it is pretty cruel not to let Klee go out when she was so excited to come here. Yep. Allow the almighty traveler and dependable Paimon to bring Klee on a tour of Inazuma.
Klee, do you want to go play with Mr. Honorary Knight?
Yay! You bet I do!
As you know, Klee is our Spark Knight. You must keep her safe and sound. By which I mean, try to keep her out of trouble. For instance, if a mountain in Inazuma was to lose one of its peaks, or if there were an explosion somewhere in the city, Klee could very well get in trouble. Glad to hear it.
I promise I'll bring you back an awesome souvenir, Mr. Albedo.
Great. I look forward to it.
There are loads of cool things to do in Inazuma. Try the local cuisine, visit a shrine. What do you want to do, Klee?
Cuisine? What's that?
You know, food and drink. Hyman just meant we could take you to a local restaurant.
A restaurant? Yay! Snack time!
Got it! All right, snack time it is. Let's go!
Wow, something smells so good. I think it's coming from the steaming thingy. Mr. Honorary Knight, look at this noodly soup. It's so pretty. There's so many nice things inside.
It's not noodly soup. It's tonkotsu ramen, actually.
Oh, so, what are those yellow and red thingies on that plate?
You're kidding, right? Those are tri-flavored skewers.
And what about this little yellow cake?
That's an egg roll. They're amazing. Have you really not tried one before?
Wow, tonkotsu ramen, tri-flavored skewers, and egg rolls. They all sound delicious.
They sure are. Guess you're not from around here if you haven't tried any of these before. Let me buy you an egg roll with my allowance so you can get a taste of our Inazuman food.
Really? But Master Jean said I shouldn't go taking other people's things.
Also, that's your allowance, right? Taking another kid's allowance just seems kind of wrong.
Oh, I remember you. You're Yoimiya's friend. How come you know how to make egg rolls?
Egg rolls are a piece of cake for this guy. Why don't you make some for Klee and Iwao?
Really? Wow, Paimon is so touched.
You're learning. All right, we'll be waiting on those egg rolls.
Mr. Honorary Knight, what do egg rolls taste like?
Wow, you really can cook them. You're awesome, mister.
It's sweet. So yummy.
Yep. It's delicious. Traveler, you are the best.
Yeah, these egg rolls are pretty good, but I still think Yoimiya's are better.
Who is Yoimiya? She makes egg rolls too?
Yoimiya can do anything. She tells stories, keeps goldfish, makes fireworks, and gives us candy too. Yoimiya's pretty much the best and most awesome person ever.
For me, the best, most awesome person in the world is my mom. And Klee knows loads of other great people too, like Mr. Albedo, Mr. Honorary Knight, Master Jean, Kaya.
Surely she's not going to name everyone she knows.
Oh, well, I don't know any of those people. But anyways, I still want to introduce you to yoimiya. If you want, I'll take you to find her. In most festivals, yoimiya's so busy that you can never find her. But this festival's different. She has free time, so she can play with us. She seems like she hasn't been in a great mood recently, but maybe seeing you will cheer her up.
Okay, let's go play with yoimiya.
Special yakitori for sale. Come and try some.
Yoimiya, don't be sad. Oh, I know. Let me tell you something that'll cheer you up. Yesterday, I won 3 beetle fights in a row against that guy with the horns on his head.
Wow, Matsuzaka. Nice work. It's not easy to beat Ito. Don't worry, Yoimiya. Maybe you can't light fireworks during the Irodori festival, but there are still lots of other fun things to do. I know. Thanks, you guys. It's just that fireworks are banned in the city for a few days. I'm not that upset, really.
Yoimiya, it's me! I want to introduce you to a new friend, an Outlander girl. I just met her. Wait, what's your name again?
Klee. My name is Klee.
Nice to meet you, Klee. I'm Yoimiya, and I run Naganahara Fireworks.
Hello.
I love the cute outfit, with the hat and the cool little symbols. So unique. And your backpack, wow, it's really well made.
That's a 4-leaf clover. Mom and Master Jean said it can bring me good luck.
Really? That's awesome! I bet everyone would love one of those. Also, that little fairy on your backpack is super cute, too.
That's Dodoko, my best friend. We always go fish blasting together in Starfell Lake.
Oh, Dodoko? What an interesting name. I really like it.
Yep. My mom says that when a Dodoko is born, it rides the wind and goes off on a big adventure.
Ride the wind and go off on a big adventure? Klee, your mom sounds like a very cool person.
Yep. My mom is the best and most awesome person ever. And Yoimiya, Iwao was right. You're a really cool person, too.
Thanks, Klee. I feel like we really get each other. We'll be great friends, I'm sure of it.
It's so heartwarming watching these two chat away.
Hey, Klee! Since you like 4-leaf clovers so much, why don't I make a firework with a 4-leaf clover pattern and set it off for you?
Yeah! And after the fireworks, we can go fish blasting with Dodoko.
Hold on a second. Fish blasting? No way. Albedo was pretty clear about that.
Oh, oops. I get so excited that I completely forgot about that. The folks from the Yashiro Commission specifically warned me that no fireworks are allowed in Inazuma during the Irodori Festival.
What? It's not allowed? But... Aww. Okay, then.
Hey, come on. You just made a new friend. This is a happy occasion. Why are you suddenly so upset? Yeah, we still have loads of things we can do. Right, just like Saika said, there are lots of fun things to do.
What do you say, Klee? Sounds like the Irodori Festival could be a real blast.
Okay, then. Let's go!
Still think we should change it. This one is a bit boring. No, I think it's fine as it is. I like this job.
Brigade. When the wind of death blew towards the blonde samurai? Oh, what a long name. Must be a new one. I've never heard of it.
By Kawabunga Iki. Yoimiya, this is a really strange name.
Who's this Kawabunga? It's pronounced Kayabuki Ike. That would be me. Outlander Brigade is a new series of mine, and When the Wind of Death Blew Towards the Blonde Samurai is the first volume.
Outlander's Brigade? Is it a story about the best of friends? Kaya says that every good story has to have best friends in it.
Absolutely not. I would never allow such cliches in one of my novels. This is a book about betrayal, blood, and tears. A long and lonely struggle. A stubborn samurai's path to the truth. This is the kind of story that needs to be told.
Oh, is that right? Well, I'm not sure that's a very, suitable story for Klee. We might keep looking around.
Hey, miss! Don't go! Are you sure you don't want a copy? I'll give you 40% off.
Please, get in line over here.
Flowers for Princess Fischl. Oh, look! It's Fischl's story!
That's right! Flowers for Princess Fischl. Have you read this book before, Klee?
Nope, but I know Fischl's story. Fischl always hangs out with Oz. Everyone in the Adventurers Guild knows. It's just like how me and Todoko are always together. I wonder if Todoko is getting bored now.
Oh, Klee, I'm afraid it can't be helped. There are a lot of flammable items at the festival, and we have to be careful not to start a fire.
Darn. It seems like even the Irodori Festival can't cheer Klee and Yoimiya up. There must be plenty of things you can do with Dodoko besides lighting fireworks and going fish blasting.
Yeah, like, Wait, so that's what you're suggesting?
That's right! The Irodori Festival is a place for putting your work on display. You could show Dodoko's story for everyone here! Bingo! What do you think of that idea, Klee?
Mr. Albedo taught me how to paint. I can paint the story of Dodoko's adventure in Inazuma.
That's very imaginative. I think it's a great idea. We could even put the finished story on display at the festival.
Yay! Great! Dodoko will be so happy.
Perfect. Okay, so I have some paper, paintbrushes, and paint at the shop. Let's go to the shop and paint your story there.
Yay! Let's go! Let's go!
Those two can run so fast when they're motivated. We better catch up.
Please, get in line over here.
I still think we should change it. This party's a bit boring.
Klee and I just had a discussion, and we've decided...
We're gonna keep the content of the story a secret from you guys, for now.
Obviously, I can't tell you why. Or... you'll see. Don't worry. You can keep exploring the festival while we're busy in the shop. We'll be here when you get back.
Come on, Yoimiya, we should get going. Let's go inside and start painting.
got an idea. Come on, let's go around to the windows and take a sneaky peek.
No, I think it's fine as it is. I like this. I still think we should change it. This party's a bit boring.
So, what does Dodoko do after getting to Inazuma?
Dodoko goes to eat tri-flavored skewers, tonkatsu ramen, and egg rolls.
Ooh, that sounds great! Is that what you're painting? It looks beautiful! Once you're done painting, let's go get it printed. We'll print a whole bunch of copies and go hand them out at the festival. Although it'll cost a lot more to get it printed. Let me see if I've got enough saved up.
It's okay, yoimiya. I have some more. Look.
50 more is probably not quite enough. Well, if we don't have enough, we can ask the Traveler for ideas.
Mr. Honorary Knight has helped a lot already. I don't want to trouble him. So, I think I should just go fish blasting to earn some more.
No fish blasting. Paimon and the Traveler said so.
Oh, then we've got no choice. We'll have to go see Mr. Albedo.
Who's Mr. Albedo?
He's my older brother. He's super duper smart. He can do anything. And he knows how to paint, too. He paints Hilly Churls, Kaya, and even Dodoko. That's why he came to Inazuma this time, to do paintings for everyone.
Oh, is that right? Then I guess Mr. Albedo must be an artist working with the iPublishing House.
An artist? Oh, that means he has 2 jobs. One as an alchemist, teaching sucrose alchemy, and the other as an artist, doing paintings for people. Yoimiya, let me show you something. Mr. Albedo taught me you can paint Dodoko's color like this.
Wow! I can see the resemblance. All right, I'll paint the streets, and Klee, you fill in Dodoko's colors. Hey, you can even write the story over here to explain what's happening in the painting.
Okay, let's write this.
Oh.
Shoot! Paimon didn't hear the last part.
Dodoko sure had a lot of fun in Inazuma.
Those two sound like they really did go on an adventure with Dodoko. They couldn't be happier.
Now, we have to get Dodoko's story printed. Come on, let's go to the iPublishing House.
How about just do a short story? Just something to get a manuscript handed.
Here we are. This is the Yai Publishing House.
Yai Publishing House. Ooh, it's Auntie Aratani. I know Auntie Aratani.
Auntie? Who's that calling me Auntie? Oh, it's the little girl who came with Mr. Calx. How can I help you, little girl?
Auntie Aratani, can you help me get Dodoko's story printed so that everybody can see it?
Dodoko? Oh, so you've been writing a story, huh? Is Dodoko the main character?
Not only that, Dodoko is also real. Look!
Huh? I don't quite understand.
We'd better explain this to her.
Oh, I see. Oh, I'd love to help you make this wish come true, but I'm sorry. The deadline has passed for accepting printing orders for the Irodori Festival.
Auntie, are you saying Dodoko won't be able to meet everyone after all?
Oh, I'm sorry, little girl.
Oh, Klee, don't be upset. You still have me and the Traveler. We'll think of something. Miss Aratani, is there any way at all, we can still get this printed. We can pay extra. And if you're short on staff to help with the printing, I can pitch in.
Miss Yoimiya, I understand your sentiment, but I'm afraid it's not as simple as that. We've been printing many people's personal works for this festival, and a lot of the books are already well behind schedule. The printing press is already working overtime to try and catch up. At a time like this, we really can't squeeze any more jobs in.
What do we do? Seems like we might have to give up on this idea.
No, I won't let that happen. I remember this one time when I was little. Pop said he'd take me to the festival, but he was so busy with work that he forgot all about it. I waited and kept wondering when Pops was finally gonna take me there. Eventually, people started coming home from the festival. That night, I cried miserably. To this day, I still remember how sad I felt. I don't want Klee to feel the same way. If we can't get it printed, then we'll just have to find our own way. I can paint. Over the next few days, I'll paint as many as I can. Then we'll take those to the festival.
My. Yoimiya has quite a determined spirit. I like it very much.
It's Miko and Albedo too.
We heard everything.
Oh, Lady Ai.
It's okay, I know. You were just following the rules. Plus, we really are quite behind schedule with the printing. But our mission at Yae Publishing House is to bring dreams and happiness to the masses. It would be a crying shame if we couldn't even help one adorable little girl fulfill her wish. Let me think. Oh, I know. Yoimiya, little girl, you can print your book, but on one condition, okay?
Of course, Lady Guji. Just tell us. Whatever this condition is, I am...
Dear me, it's nothing that horrendous. You make it sound like I'm some sort of wicked witch. All I mean is, if you want to get your work printed now, there is only one way. You have to combine it with another print. However, there is only a small amount of space remaining in the book in question. Your book is too big, so you have to reduce it to about half the size to make it fit. Is this a sacrifice that you're willing to make?
Klee, Lady Guji is saying that we can print the book if we shrink it to half the size. Are you okay with that?
Yup, I am. Thanks, Miss Guji lady.
What an adorable little girl. Well, that settles it. Aratani, make sure it gets printed with tonight's batch.
Yes, Lady Ai. I'll get right on it.
Combining the prints is a plausible solution, but it'll cause a lot of extra work for the printing press. I am terribly sorry about that.
No problem. Just think of it as my greeting gift for little Klee. Besides, the Yae Publishing House will need your help with the illustrations again next time, Mr. Calx. You could also consider it as my investment in you, All right, I won't disturb you two any longer. Bye-bye now.
Yay! Everything worked out perfectly. Now, we just need to wait for an update from the Yae Publishing House.
Yoimiya, Traveler. Thank you for keeping Klee so exceptionally well entertained for me.
No worries.
Yes, you're right. Klee is family, after all.
How about it truly is a story, Mr. Chalk? Mr. Chong wasn't able to get a manuscript handed in time for the festival. Story in parallel universe. Just something to get into the festival. Absolutely not. Could you please stop adding random dates?
The case before us is a strange and unprecedented one indeed.
Mr. Honorary Knight, Auntie Aratani brought us Todoko's story.
Now we can finally see what secrets Klee and yoimiya were keeping from us.
Oh, it's really nothing that exciting.
It's the story of Todoko and me.
And me. And you guys.
This is Paimon's first time featuring in a printed book! Woohoo! Paimon's gonna be famous!
Of course we included Paimon! This is the story of everyone's big happy adventure with Todoko.
This story is me and yoimiya's gift for Mr. Honorary Knight.
Lady Yai wanted me to inform you that since this book was printed together with another work, there are many more copies than you may have anticipated. We won't charge you a printing fee, but in exchange, the extra copies of your book will be included as a free gift with purchases of the other book. Is that okay with you?
Oh, are you sure? I mean, it's fine by us, but what does the author of the book think?
Actually, the book that yours was printed with is called the Teyvat Travel Guide.
Hey, that's Mommy's book!
So, Klee's mother is a writer?
Klee's mother, Alice, is a renowned adventurer in Teyvat, and the Inazuma edition of her popular Teyvat Travel Guide series is set to be released imminently. Lady Yai has already decided on how to promote it, a joint endeavor by Teyvat's biggest and best mother-daughter adventure duo. It's sure to be a huge hit.
Paimon knew it! Miko would never do anything for free.
A typical move by Lady Yai. It works out well for everybody, doesn't it?
Yep, I'm super happy because my book gets to be released together with Mommy's book. It's like me and Mommy going on an adventure together. Oh, I'm so glad I came. The Irodori Festival is the best!
All of the Yai Publishing House.
Please be mindful of your personal safety at all times.